Hey there guys, Stuart Trier from GoingForWow.com. Thanks for tuning in. So today's topic is going to be, you want to start a business, but you don't have a business idea. So first and foremost, what I'd like to talk about on that front is you don't need to come up with the next Twitter or the next Facebook. You need to start to think about ideas that can make you some money with low risk. Essentially, the idea of starting a business on the side is that you can start the business small and scale it up. Certainly when Facebook started, there's no way Mark thought that he was going to scale this business to the size that it is today. As things progressed, I'm sure that he had a glimpse as to what could happen, and certainly brilliant execution in terms of doing it, and venture capital, and a lot of things kind of came together to make that idea work to the level that it's working at. But when you first start a business, you're not necessarily looking to say, I want to have $1 billion business. Certainly not if, this is something you're doing on the side. So most businesses will start, on a relatively small scale and work their way up. And, realistically, if you're a 9 to 5 employee today and you're doing this on the side, then all you're really looking for is a couple of $1,000, maybe $5,000 a month in free cash flow. And I mean, that's probably enough for you to feel like you've accomplished something that will dramatically change your life, especially if you can maintain that while maintaining your job. That probably will put you in a much different circumstance than you're in today. So that being said, the way to find a business is to kind of look at what you like to do, look at areas that are underserviced in your community, and see if you can't start, something in that vein in terms of producing or providing a service that you have, an inkling of passion about, because you're going to be devoting a great deal of time that would have otherwise been free time for you. So, I mean, you may be working on this business at night, you may be working on this business in the weekends. So it's important that you pick something that you're going to enjoy doing. You can pop out online and look for, small business ideas. There's tons of them out there. And really, it just comes down to executing and creating, some income for yourselves. I'll give you a little example of how my first company kind of started small and scaled up. So my partner and I decided we were going to sell some tools on the weekend. It really started, Buddy introduced us to the concept. He sent us out a load of tools. To give you an example of scale, my buddy and I put, I think, $2,000, maybe it was $2,500 each, on a credit card and ordered up this product, and essentially said, all right, send us down the tools and we'll run a weekend blowout sale. So from a $5,000 investment in the beginning, literally 3 years later, we were at $8 million in revenue. And I mean, it was throwing off a ton of free cash. It literally allowed us to travel around the world, quit our jobs, do all kinds of things in our early 20s that realistically with a job wouldn't have been very plausible. So, I look at that and I say, from pretty humble beginnings or pretty small beginnings, you don't necessarily know where you're going to go. I mean, a lot of it's going to come down to execution and kind of, finding those opportunities to scale the business up. But from a $5,000 investment to, $1 million in paid inventory, $8 million in sales, and probably somewhere in the area of $800,000 or $900,000 a year in profit, we really enjoyed that curve. And both my partner and I started that business having full-time jobs. I stayed working full-time, I believe, 8 or 9 months after we started the business. He stayed on for, I think, a year and a half after we started the business. And we were profitable day one. It was just a matter of he had a commitment at his job that went that duration. And I wanted to make sure that we had something that was solid before I kind of jumped in full-time. So that's a prime example of how, don't think starting something small in your town can't scale up, because it certainly can. It's all about starting and not finding an excuse not to start. So I'd encourage you to, look around, find something that you're interested in, and just give it a go and really pursue it. And, it will create a little bit of extra income, but will also teach you some lessons and kind of get you started in the business area. And, like any muscle, you'll grow over time and you'll become much better at executing. So that's all for now. Stuart from GoingForWow.com. If you have any questions or you have any feedback, I'd love to read your comments. If you have any questions, I'll certainly answer them. So drop me a line below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.